In the early 1700s, the Atlantic Ocean was filled with merchants, treasure fleets, and pirates. But among them all, one pirate built a reputation so terrifying that ships often surrendered without firing a single cannon.
He didn't command the largest fleet. He didn't capture the most treasure, but he understood something few pirates ever did. Fear could be a weapon, and he used it better than anyone.
His name was Blackbeard.
Are you with me?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jane.
And I'm Jason. Despite becoming the most famous pirate in history, the early years of Blackbeard is surprisingly mysterious. Historians believe his real name was Edward Teach, sometimes written as Thatch. He was likely born in England sometime around the late 1600s. Before becoming a pirate, Teach probably worked as a privateer. We say probably because his life before becoming a pirate is largely unknown. Privateers were essentially government-approved raiders. But when the war ended in 1714, thousands of sailors suddenly found themselves unemployed. Many returned home. Others turned to piracy. Edward Teach chose the sea.
By the mid-1710s, the island of Nassau in the Bahamas had become something extraordinary. It was a gathering place for pirates from across the Atlantic. There was no strong government presence, no Royal Navy, and ships constantly passed nearby, carrying valuable cargo. For pirates, it was the perfect base. Some historians even called Nassau a pirate republic. Among the pirates known to operate, these were figures who would later become legendary. Pirates such as Benjamin Hornigold, Charles Vane, Calico Jack, and even future pirates like Anne Bonny and Mary Read.
Among these pirates, one man played an important role in Blackbeard's rise, Benjamin Hornigold. Hornigold was one of the most respected pirate captains operating out of Nassau, and he is credited with being the man who first gave Edward Teach command of his own ship, and that is when Blackbeard began to rise.
To our health, and to the next plunder!
Blackbeard's reputation began to grow quickly. In 1717, he captured a large French slave ship. Instead of selling the ship, he transformed it. He refitted the vessel with heavy cannons and renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge. The ship carried roughly 40 guns, making it one of, if not the most, powerful pirate ship in the Atlantic. With a crew that reached upwards of 300 men, Blackbeard commanded a floating fortress. But his greatest weapon was not his ship. It was his reputation and his physical appearance.
Before battle, Blackbeard would tie slow-burning fuses into his thick beard. As the matches smoldered, smoke surrounded his face. Witnesses described him as looking like a demon emerging from battle.
To arms! Kill them all!
But historians have gradually changed their beliefs about Blackbeard. Now they believe something interesting. That Blackbeard may not have been unusually violent. In fact, many accounts suggest he preferred ships to surrender peacefully. Killing crews would only invite more retaliation from the Royal Navy.
Who wants to dance next?
Instead, Blackbeard created a terrifying reputation that made ships surrender immediately. It was piracy as theater.
Man the guns! Give no quarter! Let them feel the fire of our jabber!
In May of 1718, Blackbeard carried out one of the boldest acts in pirate history. He blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina. Ships entering and leaving the harbor were captured. Passengers were taken hostage. But Blackbeard didn't demand gold. He demanded medicine for his crew. Charleston eventually delivered a chest of medical supplies to secure the release of the prisoners. Then Blackbeard disappeared back into the Atlantic.
Not long after the Charleston blockade, Blackbeard's flagship, Queen Anne's Revenge, ran aground near Beaufort Inlet, North Carolina. Some historians believe this may not have been an accident, By grounding the ship, Blackbeard could reduce the size of his crew and keep more treasure for himself. As a side note, in 1996, the wreck of Blackbeard's legendary flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, was finally discovered just off the coast of North Carolina, right where historical records suggest it ran aground more than 275 years earlier. The wreck site is now managed by the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, and artifacts are still being discovered today. After abandoning the ship, Blackbeard operated along the North Carolina coast. He frequently used Ocracoke Inlet as a base. There are stories of Blackbeard, his crew, and other pirate captains enjoying dinner and heavy drinking on the shores of Ocracoke. Blackbeard even developed a friendly relationship with the governor of North Carolina, Charles Eden. Some historians believe Eden may have tolerated Blackbeard's presence in exchange for a share of his profits. Blackbeard occasionally stayed in a home in Beaufort, North Carolina, a house that visitors can see today. The waters around Beaufort and Ocracoke were clearly part of Blackbeard's territory.
But not everyone was willing to tolerate Blackbeard. The governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, was determined to eliminate piracy. Even though Blackbeard operated in North Carolina waters, Spotswood secretly funded a naval expedition to hunt him down. The mission was given to a man who loved the fighting life, Royal Navy Lieutenant Robert Maynard. Maynard had a reputation as a tough, hard-edged, and determined officer.
Fire! Give them hell, lads!
In November of 1718, Maynard found Blackbeard anchored near Ocracoke Island.
What followed was one of the most famous pirate battles in history. Maynard's ships approached. Cannons roared, gunfire erupted. The fight quickly turned into brutal hand-to-hand combat. Pistols roared, swords clanged. Blackbeard fought fiercely. According to reports, he ignored his many injuries as he was reportedly shot 5 times and cut with swords more than 20 times. Finally, Blackbeard fell. Even wounded, he continued fighting until the very end. After the battle, Maynard ordered Blackbeard's head severed and hung from the bow of his ship, a warning to every pirate in the Atlantic.
The pirate known as Blackbeard ruled the seas for only a few short years, yet his legend has endured for centuries.
He wasn't the richest pirate. Historians don't believe he was the most violent either, but he understood something powerful. That reputation could be stronger than cannons, and by mastering fear, Blackbeard became one of the most feared pirates to ever live.
But Blackbeard wasn't the only fascinating figure in the pirate age. Next time on Willis Through Time, we will discuss the legendary Calico Jack, along with Anne Bonny and Mary Read.